All right, I got another lifter here who's concerned about progress, so I wanted to kind of share some screen caps from the training log again. He says that he feels like his squat and deadlift have not improved much and have kind of stalled, but he feels like his bench has done well, which is interesting because that's not what I see when I look at the estimated 1RMs. And again, like I'm not saying that you're crazy or anything like that, not at all. You're probably just seeing things from a different perspective than what I'm seeing them from. So I would love to know kind of what's on your mind, kind of what are you thinking that what do you see that's causing you to think that bench is going well but squat and deadlift have kind of stalled. You're concerned that you haven't made that much progress since you've began these last 4 weeks or so, and you say that currently you're on caloric maintenance, and you started this around week 3. So I just want to kind of highlight a couple things here. Your squat's been on a pretty nice upward trend. If we look kind of at what's here in the beginning, and we round that off to say a 260. And then here, this last data point, if we kind of round that off and say 270, that's not an insignificant improvement. That's going to be something to the tune of 5%, maybe a bit less than that. Actually, yeah, a bit less than 5%. But over a matter of 4 weeks, that's good. That's not something that I'm displeased with at all. Then if we look at your bench press from my perspective has been stagnant, and then this last week obviously was a downtrend. That's not a good thing, not what we want to see. I'm wondering if this one wasn't just a bad workout though. So what I would like to do as we go forward, keep an eye on that and see if this becomes a trend. Are you here for a prolonged period of time, or does it bounce back up relatively quickly and continue? It is somewhat concerning that if you're, let me clear some of this stuff out. If your training had been improving and then there was a dip, I wouldn't be so worried about it, because either training is going to continue to improve or it's going to bounce back and continue to improve or something like that. But having that sort of improvement leading into it makes it a lot nicer. Since you didn't have that, since it's this more stagnant area and then a dip, that's more concerning to me. So if that's not bouncing back this week, let me know, because we'll want to address that in some way. We'll want to do a video analysis to make sure that we're targeting your weaknesses. I will also want to know, how is your bench feeling overall? Do you feel like you're well recovered? Do you feel like you're fighting off injuries? What's going on with that? How are you feeling in the upper body? And then from there, we'll be able to hopefully make some additional changes to your workout to make sure that this gets kind of back on an upward trend. And then your deadlift, to me, also that looks pretty positive as well. So that's also about 5, and I'm not sure entirely. Well, I guess I'm pretty sure that these are the units are in pounds. If you're deadlifting 371 kilos, then definitely let me know. And this is more on my end than on your end. It's just kind of part of the software I'm still getting used to. So anyway, so adding 5 pounds to your deadlift is not huge or anything, but at the same time, it's been 4 weeks, and so 5 pounds in 4 weeks, in my opinion, is not bad. So let's take a look at what your overall progress has been over these last 4 weeks. So we're looking at, for squat, let's kind of round these numbers off a little bit and say 260. And then for bench, Again, let's kind of round it off and say 192. And then for deadlift, let's round it off to 366. So all those together mean that it gives you an estimated total of 818. Now, if we look at where you're at kind of at the end of this 4 weeks, squats going to round off to 270. Bench is going to round off to 182. And then deadlift is going to round off to 371. So if we add all those together, that gives us 823. So over the last 4 weeks, it's been what, +5 on the total. So yeah, I mean that's not stellar. I wouldn't necessarily be thrilled with that either. But if we look at this and say, okay, what's working, what's not working? I would say from what I see, the squat is definitely working. The deadlift is so-so. The bench is not working. So if we can especially fix this bench, that's going to be huge, and that's gonna help your total a lot. And then, you know, kind of a secondary emphasis would be to get the deadlift going again. But again, I mean, it's only been 4 weeks. It's +5. So if we can kind of keep that going, I think it's going to turn into something significant. So let's spend some effort focusing on this bench. Let's get this bench turned around, and then we'll kind of see where we're at from there, and we can make further decisions.